ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाशात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so let me share my screen. So we are looking at the 64 angas of bhakti or devotional service. What are all the different practices that we can perform in bhakti? And we have completed until going to the places of the Lord, going to holy places and going to temples. So which is 28 items we have completed. Now we'll be looking at 29th item. So 29th is parikrama, that is circumambulation of the Lord. We are here, circumambulation of the Lord. परिक्रमः यथा तत्र एव विष्णुं प्रदक्षिणीकुर्वन् यः तत्र आवर्तते पुनः तदेव आवर्तनं तस्य पुनः न आवर्तते भवे. So one who does pradakshina of Vishnu. So what does it pradakshina mean? Pradakshina mean pragachati dakshanam. That is one who goes on the right hand side of the Lord. Not from the left hand side, not the counterclockwise, the clockwise. One who goes around the Lord in the clockwise direction, pradakshini kurvan. One who does that, what happens to that person? That person does not come back to this material world. Tasya avartanam bhave punah na avartate. So that person's avartana means roaming around in the samsara. That does not happen again. Skandecha Chaturmasi Mahatmye. So from the Skanda Purana, in the Chaturmasi Mahatmya, it is said, Chaturvaram Brahmibhi tu Jagatsarvam Characharam Krantam Bhavati Vipragriya Tat Tirtha Gamanadhikam. So he says that Chaturvaram Brahmibhi. So one who goes around the Lord 4 times. What is that equivalent to? That is equivalent to roaming around the entire world. There is a story that Kartikeya and Ganesha, they were having a competition to who goes around the world, and then Ganesha chose to go around Lord Shiva and Parvati, like that, because they embody the whole universe. Similarly, Vishnu, who is even greater than Lord Shiva, so he embodies the whole universe. So one who goes around the Lord, he goes around the whole world as well. So it is actually better than going to the holy places of the Lord, which is just such as like a Ganga. Visiting Ganga is a holy place. So going around the Lord, doing production of the Lord is actually better than that. And this is Kartik Mass. So in Kartik Mass, we can do one of the vows is that, I'll go around the temple, I'll go around the Lord. That is also one of the vows one can perform. Chatugu iti atra Vishnum paritaha iti prakarana praptam Tirthanam Shri Gangadinam Gamanat Apyatikam Shikram Bhagavad Bhakti Pradatvat. So going to places like Ganga is somewhat inferior to doing production of the Lord. Why? Because when you do production of the Lord, you also get bhakti. The next one, Archana. Archana is worship of the Lord. Shuddhi Nyasadi Purvanga Krama Nirvaha Purvakam. Purvanga Karma Nirvaha Purvakam. Archanam tu Upacharanam Syat Mantrena Upapadanam. So here he gives the definition of Archana. Srila Rupa Goswami gives the definition of Archana. Shuddhi. Shuddhi means Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta Shuddhi means purification. So before performing Archana, one has to perform Bhuta Shuddhi. It's a type of process where you are purifying the elements in your body. And after doing Bhuta Shuddhi, then you become, your body becomes spiritual. Then you are eligible to worship the Lord. Before doing that, your body is material. So you cannot worship the Lord with your material body. So you do the Bhuta Shuddhi. There is a process in deity worship. And you do that, then you go and worship the Lord. So Shuddhi, Nyasadi. Nyasa is like placing syllables in the body. So here he gives an example of Nyasa means Matrika Nyasadeha. So Matrika Nyasa is basically placing all the alphabets on your body. So you perform Bhuta Shuddhi and Nyasa. These are the preliminary activities before you actually worship the Lord, deity worship. Karma Nirvaha Purvakam. So all these activities, all of these preliminary activities included. Mantrena Upacharanam Upapadanam. That is when you offer different items, like you offer agarbatti and the incense. You offer scent, or you offer a lamp, you offer flowers. These are, or you offer water, you offer cloth. These are the different items you can offer to the Lord. And before offering each item, you actually say a mantra to offer to the Lord. So that activity, including that, all these together, called Archana. So the offering of items combined with the preliminary activities like Bhuta Shuddhi and Nyasa, etc. Together, these are called Archana process. We can translate it as deity worship. Tad yatha dashame, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Swarga apavarga yogo pumsam rasayam bhuvi sampadam sarvasam api siddhinam moolam tat charanarchanam. So, whatever the siddhis you can get from Swarga, that is heavenly planets, apavarga, liberation, Rasayam, Rasatala, that is in the lower planetary systems, Bhuvi on the earth, all the siddhis, all the perfections you can get in worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord or doing the Archana process. Why? Because it is the root from which all these things, all the other processes come out. Swarga apavarka yoga iti atra archanam pradhanam. Okay. Atra archanam pradhanam krutva bhakti antara mahima suchitaha. So here archanam is placed in the front, but actually it is talking about any process in bhakti, not just archana. You can perform any process and you can attain all the siddhis that you can attain in heavenly planets or in the liberated state or in lower planetary system or in earthly planetary system. Anything you can get. Okay. Vishnu Rahasya, from Vishnu Rahasya, it is said, Shri Vishnoho Archanam Yetu Prakurvanti Naraha Bhuvi Te Yanti Shashvatam Vishnoho Anandam Paramam Padam. So one who performs Archana process, one who does the deity worship of Vishnu or Krishna, that person, those persons, they don't come back again to this world. Where do they go? They go to the eternal planet of the Lord. That is Vaikunta. They go into the Vaikunta, which is filled with bliss. This world, on the other hand, it is not filled with bliss. When you go to the Vaikunta planetary systems, just by your existence there, you will feel happiness. Here, we don't feel like, when we wake up in the morning, I'm so blissful every day when I wake up in the morning or when I'm doing my work. I'm feeling always bliss. No, that's not the case. We do not feel any bliss, and that is why our mind is going out to consume other items. I want to eat food, maybe I'll become happy. I want to buy a car, maybe I'll become happy. I want to do something else. I'm trying to search the happiness everywhere. I want to have friends. I want to have relatives. I want to watch a movie. All this, the mind is going out because it is not feeling satisfied within itself. But just by being existing in the spiritual planet, you'll feel happiness. When you feel extreme happiness, you would express the joy rather than searching after joy everywhere. Okay. The next item is paricharya, worshipping the Lord like a king. Paricharya tu seva upakaranaadi parishkriya tatha parikirnaka chatra vaditra adyehi upasana. So, paricharya, or worshipping the Lord like a king, it has two parts. Seva upakarana adi parishkriya, decorating the Lord with different upakarana, instruments. Like, you can have place flute, you can place a cow here, and you can put a flower, you can dress it up, and you can hang around cloths and festoons. All these things you can decorate the Lord deity. Just like a king is dressed up nicely, and his whole, the sitting place, the asan he is sitting, the simhasan, so that is decorated very nicely. And similarly, you can also decorate the altar of the Lord very nicely, placing different items. That is one. The second one is Parikiranaka Chatravadityadigi Upasana. Parikiranaka is Chamara. So the Chamara is, shown to the kings. So similarly, we also show Chamara to the Lord. That is Paricharya. Chatra, holding the umbrella for the Lord. You would see that, even today, if a politician comes in India, they hold the umbrella, or if an actor comes, there is always a person who carries around with an umbrella. It's like a kingly activity. So when a king comes, there will be a person holding the umbrella. So similarly, you would see in procession, especially in South India, when the deities come out, somebody will be holding a umbrella, the Lord. And this happens in Mayapur as well. When they take the small deities around, somebody will be holding the umbrella, and then somebody else will be doing this chamara. Vaditryadyehi, and then you do perform musical performances as well. You sing, chant Hare Krishna mantra, chant Sankirtana, chant the glories of the Lord, along with the musical instruments. So these two together are called paricharya. So this is different from the previous item, which is archana. So in archana, when you're doing the puja, we do today together two items. One is that offering of different articles, agarbatti and water, lamb, cloth, flowers. All these are part of archana. Then when you are doing the chamara, that becomes paricharya. You are treating the Lord like a king. So together we do that together. And when you are doing the paricharya, you don't offer with mantra. But whereas when you are doing archana, each article is offered with a mantra. Idam pushpam, idam, this one, you say many things. And also along with that, you also use your diksha mantra to offer the items. But here in paricharya, holding the umbrella, you don't need to say any mantra. You just hold the umbrella for the Lord. Same with the chamara as well. And musical instruments are decorating the Lord. So paricharya, that's how the paricharya is different from archana. Yatha Naradiye, from the Narada Purana, it is said, Muhurtam ma muhurta ardham ma muhurtam ma muhurta ardham yahatishtet hari mandire Saha yati param sthanam kimu shushrooshane rataha. So if a person just stays in the temple of the Lord for muhurta, for a muhurta, muhurta is 48 minutes, for 48 minutes, or even half a muhurta, which is 24 minutes. If a person stays in the temple of the Lord, that person will go to Paramam Sthanam, that is Vaikundam. He goes back home, back to Godhead. Kimu Shushushane Rataha. So, what then to speak of the person who is engaged in service to the Lord? Paricharya. Definitely, you will get better than that. So, that is the glory of Paricharya. Yatha Chaturte. So, from the fourth canto, it is said, यत्पादसेवाभिरुचिस्तपस्विनाम् अशेषजन्मोपचितं मलन्ध्य सद्यशृणोति अन्वहं मेधति सति यथा पदाङ्गुष्ठविनिश्रिता सरित् यत्पादसेवा abhiruchihi. So one who is attached to the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. What happens to that person? That tapasvi it is here is mentioned. So instead of mentioning bhaktanam, it is mentioned tapasvina. Why? So tapasvi, who has performed severe austerities for a long time. And still, the dirt accumulated in his mind over so many births have not been cleared. But if the person is desiring to worship the lotus feet of the Lord, and then does that, what happens? Immediately, here it says, Sadhya Shinoti. Immediately, the dirt in the mind, Madhyaha Malam, or intelligence, dirt in the intelligence. How is that in dirt? Ashesha Janma Upachitam. Ashesha means unlimited. We have gone through unlimited, infinite number of births in this world. So we have collected the dirt in our intelligence over infinite births. All this dirt will be immediately destroyed just by attached to doing paricharya or worshipping the Lord. And then anuvaham edhi sati, it increases every day. The taste for worshipping the Lord doesn't stop there, just doesn't clean your heart alone. It also increases, the desire increases every day. Yatha pada angushta vinisrita sarit. So how your mind is cleaned, here is an example given. Just like the Ganga, which is flowing from the lotus feet of the Lord, can wash off so many dirts on the way. The force of Ganga is very difficult to hold. It just forces everything out of the, whatever the dirt is in the path. Similarly, this attachment to the service of the Lord also cleanses the heart of the person very quickly, even for the tapasvi. So here it is established that bhakti activity is actually much more better than doing austerities, dry austerities. Anghani vividhani eva sihu puja paricharyayoho natani likitani atra grantha bhagulya bhititaha. So there are so many subparts to this activity of archana and paricharya. So many sub activities are there. This is just, a high level summary is given. You can just write some volumes of books on that. But here, Rupa Goswami is saying, I am not writing that here because I'm fearing that the book will become very big. The people are usually very lazy to read big books. The book, especially in those days, books becoming voluminous is difficult because copying that book becomes difficult. They have to copy by hand. And then reading through that book. And then somebody will write a commentary. The book size will simply grow. And then people will get not motivated to read. These days, even a book with 40 pages, people are having difficulty to read because the age of distraction, we are used to reading Instagram posts and, short snippets. So we are losing the taste for reading. So he does not want to make the book bigger. So he skips many of these things. Okay, so singing in front of the Lord will continue from next week. Thank you, devotees, for joining. Any questions or any comments, thoughts you want to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavatnam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yes, Madhuji.
Not to distract Prabhuji, like as you said, it's very difficult when kids are around or phones are around, and sometimes we don't know it's emergency call, urgent call, or something else, or and then work, and then like do the other activities,
Yeah.
like there's so many things. When you sit for the reading, everything will come to mind. You have this work all.
So with the kids, I'm also struggling. Kids are very difficult to control, and we are at their mercy rather than they are at our mercy. Uh, I think that's a phase, Mataji. One way you can replace reading, which is also better, is just hearing. You can put on YouTube video where there are so many online, reading classes are going on, or somebody people have read the entire Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. You can listen to that, turn it on, and then you can just engage with the kid. Of course, focus won't be there, but Prabhupada also says taking care of the kid is very much important for the devotees because they are the next generation Vaishnavas. So that is also service for the parents, especially for the mother. So that is fine. But in terms of like a phone or other things, if we do find time, that is, if the kid may be going to daycare or whatever, if that is the case, then we should definitely allocate at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes of time to read the work. And if it is not possible, then do a group reading, which is what we are doing in our evening and morning. Morning nowadays, I think we have a problem, but evening at least we are having continuous reading. So group reading is easier to follow. Just to join the group, there are so many people. Very similar to how we go to gym. Going to gym alone is quite difficult. You go with another person, tag along with another person. It's easy to go. Similarly, we can also do the same thing. Hope it helps, Mataji.
Yes, yes, it helps. It helps. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Then we'll stop here. We'll continue next week.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वैष्णव की जय। हरे कृष्ण।